Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 16th podcast of CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talk Show. I'm your host, Lalit Dhamija. I have been working as a CIPS volunteer in UAE since 2009. I'm a procurement and supply chain management trainer and a chartered fellow of Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply. Over the past 40 years, I have worked with CEOs and trained thousands of executives, managers, and procurement leaders in Fortune 500 and multinational companies. Today, I'm joined by the youngest speaker ever in CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talk series. He is Sunshrey Saluja from York University, Toronto, Canada. Sunshrey is a Gen Zer. Generation Z, colloquially known as Zoomers, is the demographic cohort succeeding millennials. As you might be aware, Gen Zers are 8 to 23 years old currently and are those who were born between 1st January 1997 and 31st December 2012. Hi Sanchray, welcome to CIPS MENA Master Procurement Talks.
Hi Lalit, thank you for having me.
We will discuss with you your ongoing experience as a Gen Zer student during current pandemic, and we will summarize the key learnings at the end of the podcast. Sanchray is a third year undergraduate mechanical engineering student at York University, Toronto, Canada, and is aspiring to be a procurement and supply chain management professional. He has done research related projects on 3D printing, design, and engineering economics. Sanchray has completed a couple of procurement and supply chain management courses and has volunteered with the Habitat for Humanity International and built homes for the homeless. He manages Global Gen's account on Twitter. Sanctuary is a forex trading enthusiast and is the co-founder of the brand Breach Chainz. Sanctuary, we will start with your hobbies. We want to know, like as a Gen Zer, what are your hobbies?
Okay, so I like skateboarding and snowboarding. Both of them are quite similar, but skateboarding is generally done during the summer and snowboarding is a winter sport. The best part about skateboarding and snowboarding is when you go down the hill at 25 miles per hour and you
Mhm.
feel the air gushing through your face,
Wow.
it makes me calm and makes me feel as if I have entire control over my body.
Is it not dangerous, skateboarding and snowboarding?
Yes, both of them are quite risky sports, but with the right protection, everything is fine.
What type of personal protective equipment do you use?
So for both of them, I wear a helmet, knee pads, and elbow guards.
And do you do it alone or in groups? How do you do it?
No, we do it in groups so that even if one of us injures ourselves, the other people can help them.
Okay, I think that is quite sensible. In addition to snowboarding and skateboarding, what are your other hobbies?
I like to trade in forex. So forex is basically when you trade currencies, indices, metals, or other commodities.
Uh-huh.
I mainly trade in gold and currencies. Currencies, for example, USD versus the Canadian, and metals would be gold, silver, etc.
Okay. So how old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
From where do you get money? You are a student, and from where do you get money to trade in Forex?
So, to fund my trading and Forex, I worked part time at McDonald's and Burger Priest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's how I fund my trading.
Okay. So, what are your observations in trading? You trade in gold and foreign exchange, US dollar to Canadian, and what are your observations?
So at this point, I feel gold took a slight dip, but is climbing back.
Uh-huh.
And for commodities such as crude oil, they experienced a decline in the past years, but they're gaining speed at this point of time.
So, you do market intelligence to see the trends?
There's this app which is called Trading View.
Okay. All
So
right.
that helps you see all the graphs, and you can use tools to draw and use statistics to figure out if it will go up or down.
Okay. Have you any other hobbies?
Yes, I love listening to audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I'm reading right now is The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco.
Uh-huh. Did you complete it?
No, I'm still reading, listening to it.
All right. Yeah, you are listening to that one, of course. So, what are the your any things you want to share with us from the book?
Yes, so it tells you about the importance and what entrepreneurial skills should one develop in
Okay.
today's day and age. It also tells you that the main function of a business is marketing and innovation. So, how you do that defines the success of your business.
Okay. Wonderful. Good. So you got various diverse interests. And as a student,
Yes.
could you describe your typical day in life of a university student?
So, for most university students, university life is sleeping late and getting up early for classes.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my classes start at 9:30 and they finish by lunchtime.
Okay.
After lunch, we have group projects that we have taken part in. And during that time, we have group meetings and other assignments that we have to finish.
All right. What type of challenges were faced by university students in your region during the last year?
So, one of the main challenges university students faced would be the transition to online classes,
Mm-hmm.
especially for courses such as machine learning and machine analysis, where we had to watch online tutorials on how to operate and maintain various kind of machines. I
Mm-hmm.
feel a more practical approach would be better for understanding. Also, most libraries and group study sessions were cancelled, which are essential learning tools.
Uh-huh.
And another thing that happened was the university advised us to move out of our residence to be
Okay.
safe, as in the residence we share a common washroom,
All
so
right.
they advised us to move out. So due to that, we were left to fend for ourselves with little support and accommodations close to university at a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel this time was a time of great financial hardship for many students,
Mm.
as most Gen Z students work part time in order to pay their daily expenses.
Right.
So, as you know, due to the lockdown, many stores were closed. So many people were left jobless or were placed on unpaid leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel this was a time for great financial hardship for many students.
Okay. You mentioned about online classes. So, what are your views on online classes when compared to in-person classes?
Well, for all its disadvantages, I feel online classes are here to stay. If innovative techniques such as discussion forums, Zoom study sessions, and chat rooms are used to their full capacity, then we can definitely bridge the gap between online and in person learning.
Mm-hmm.
So, online classes allow the students to study at their own pace, but it lacks practical application. Therefore, I feel a combination of both online as well as in-person lab sessions would be the future, and it will form a model that is convenient for both students as well as the teachers.
So you are recommending a hybrid approach.
Yes.
All right. Sanjay, how was your experience with the pandemic 2020?
So my experience with the pandemic was a journey of its own. In Toronto, Canada, the lockdown began on March 16th, which was towards the end of my winter semester at York University.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the first time I experienced online classes, and it was a big change for the students as well as the professors.
Yeah.
So due to the lockdown, everyone was forced to stay indoors, which gives me a lot of time to think about what I want to do in life and how I want to go about it.
Okay.
To this end, I started listening to podcasts, motivation speeches, and audiobooks.
All right.
So while reading, while listening to speeches, motivation speeches, I came across this quote which said, "Speak your dreams into existence." So with this
What was
new
that? Speak your once again.
speak your dreams into existence.
All right. Mm-hmm.
So with this new motivated spirit that I had, my roommate and I started a online brand called Breach Chainz,
Uh-huh.
and then it is based on a branded dropshipping model.
What can you explain more? What do you do in Breach Chain's? Uh,
So
mhm.
Breach Chainz is an e-commerce site where we sell fashion accessories for both men and women.
Okay.
Yeah.
From where do you sources and how do you distribute it?
So we have a supplier overseas, and when an order is placed, the supplier directly ships the product to the customer.
How do you ensure the quality?
So if we launch a new product, or we have a sample of every product that we sell.
Okay.
So before selling, we actually get the product and we analyze it and then go about selling it.
All right. Um, as a leading Gen Zer, how do you see the world evolving?
I've The world is already evolving at a fast pace, which was accelerated due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
There could be a number of changes that would shape the future. For example, one, online learning. As I said before, online learning is here to stay.
Right.
Moreover, the value of online courses and online certifications would increase.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and I
can be
feel a
actually.
new
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yes, a new workplace would emerge, which would be all the individual tasks and assignments that are there would be done remotely, but all the group meetings and team meetings would take place in the office or in person. So this would be advantageous for both the company as well as the employees. The employees could work from the comfort of their home, and the firms can save the cost of leasing office space.
Okay.
Another thing that could happen is de-globalization and a stronger domestic supply chain model.
Mm-hmm.
So due to the pandemic, the global supply chain system was fractured. So many firms are weighing the cost benefit and the efficiency of a global supply chain system. I feel a more domestic based supply chain model would be introduced to reduce the dependency of the global system.
Okay.
Also, during the pandemic, many manufacturers that rely on labor intensive processes realized that the shifting of technology or getting robots to work instead of the laborers would be more efficient.
So what you are suggesting is like use of technology in certain areas, and that will impact employment in those areas. Am I right?
Yes. So
Uh-huh.
if you introduce technology, then the manufacturing system would be more efficient.
That is fine. Industry 4, use of Industry 4, and then they will have to deploy their existing employees in other areas or upskill them in so that they can be utilized in other areas, right?
Yes.
Okay. What, according to your Gen Z perspective, are the most important traits to face the uncertain world?
Okay. So in today's day and age, in a matter of months, some people have achieved what usually takes 4 to 5 years.
Yes.
Through platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms, the world is your stage and the sky could be the limit.
Uh,
The most
mhm.
the most important factor that contributes to success would be marketing innovation. Marketing innovation not only limited to a product, but also one's ability to promote him or herself.
Yes. Because you got the
So the
platform.
more,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So the most important quality a person could have is to adapt to the changing world. In order to survive in this world, we have to learn, de-learn, and relearn.
Well said. You were talking about like accelerating the pace of because pandemic has forced to accelerate the pace of innovation. Recently, Google CEO said that they did in 2 months what normally could be done in 2 years, as far as technology innovation was concerned.
Yes.
So, and of course, pandemic has resulted in accelerating digitization of processes and implementing digitization in companies. How did you come across procurement and supply chain world and your perusing to make a career in procurement and supply?
So the first time I heard the term procurement and supply chain management was in a lecture of engineering economics,
Mm-hmm.
which highlighted the cost effectiveness of the procurement process and supply chain management.
Mm-hmm.
So to this, I did a few online courses and listened to various podcasts, including yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it made me realize how important supply chain management is, because at the end of the day, every firm needs to produce goods, store them, and distribute them. So even now, during the supply chain of the COVID vaccine, which is going to take place under cold chain,
Yeah.
it has become a topic of the news, and to see how the procurement process works. Therefore, I feel it would be a good career option for me.
Okay, so engineering coupled with engineering economics and using procurement and supply uh, for so that is how you are trying to shape your career ahead.
Yes.
Wow. What will be your message to Gen Zers in senior school classes or in early years of university?
So my message would be, the most important thing for a Gen Zer right now is to define success for yourself. Because the Gen Z has the platform to voice their opinions and thoughts, and they can pursue their passion from any place or at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, once you have identified success for yourself, then you can go at it with full speed. So if you know the what, the how will follow.
That's very good. What are the social media platforms you use?
So mainly I use Instagram, Snapchat, Telegram, and Spotify.
Uh, do you also use Twitter?
Oh, yes, Twitter as well.
Which particular,
And
what are the subjects you cover on Twitter?
so I have a Twitter handle which goes by Gen Z Global.
Okay.
It talks about what are the skills a Gen Z should possess in order to take over such uncertain times.
All right. So after talking to you, we got some insight into what Gen Z generation is doing. You are a mechanical engineering student, 20 years old. In addition to your core engineering studies, you have got hobbies like snowboarding, skateboarding, and you also listen to audiobooks, and you do forex trading, and also you got a brand of your own, and you run a breach chains business. Uh, so many things you are doing to face the uncertain world which your generation is going through.
Yes.
That was very encouraging to know. And you are using technology, social media platforms to promote your image, and also to understand the trends, like you do forex trading, you do your market intelligence through various apps, and you talk about online classes as well as in-person classes, and you are recommending a hybrid model that will help. uh, in addition, you want to pursue a career in procurement and supply chain, as you are impressed by engineering economics course which you did in your university, as well as you're listening to relevant podcasts. So uh, and you gave a message for senior school classes and students in early years of universities, what type of approach they should have in managing their careers. Uh, I really thank you, Sanshray, for providing an insight into Gen Z viewpoint to brace up for tackling or facing the uncertain world which is in front of your generation. And I wish you all the success. And really, I'm impressed by the diverse activities which you are involved in addition to your core mechanical engineering studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, audience, for tuning in and liking and supporting the CIPS MENA podcast series. So we'll be back shortly with another talk. And till then, thank you very much.